Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me here at Firefly. We're so excited for your set
Thanks
tonight.
for having
What
us.
can we expect?
We got some new stuff to debut, and we're just gonna come rock it out, man. We just came back from Canada last night, and it got us warmed up for the big show today, so we're very excited.
Oh, absolutely. How do you guys approach the festivals different than the smaller club shows? I'm sure they're like different animals.
Yeah, they're a lot different. I mean, the wonderful thing about doing festivals is that it's we're playing for a lot of other people who don't necessarily didn't come here for us. You know, they're like waiting to for the next band or the band before, or so forth. So we get to play our music for new fans. So, and hopefully gain some new listeners, and some people walk away like, man, that band's rad. So we like to really cram pack the energy like whenever we play festivals, and there's always such good bands playing before and after us that we just want to give the fans an equal, if not better, show.
Absolutely. I've heard these things are compared to like summer camp for like
they really are.
roll,
well, I mean, you see a lot of your friends in other bands and stuff
Yeah.
too, so it's pretty rad.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about Sirens, the
Totally.
album. So, can you tell me a little bit about the recording process and what the mindset was like? Maybe one or two songs in particular.
Yeah, we well, for Wherever You Go, that's a single we have at radio right now. That was one of the first songs that we kicked off recording on the record, and we did everything very, very organic. We did everything in the same room together, and we wrote all the songs from ground up and recorded them all together. And any kind of overdubs, we did it at the very end, last process. But it was very much like a mutual project, and we allocated, I think, the right amount of time this time around as opposed to our first record, and we were really able to go in and do some serious quality control. So we're excited. We got like 19 songs recorded, and we took them down to 11.
Was that difficult? Is there anything you'll revisit?
I mean, it always sucks because they're all your babies,
Yeah.
But the songs that we chose were better for the entire album, and that's what's most important is the entire body of work, because this very much is an album that you can start from track 1 all the way to the end, and we intended it and mastered it to where it just flows very seamlessly.
That's my favorite thing, because I feel like sometimes we get stuck in a singles market where people
Yeah.
just kind of pick like one song, and people aren't listening to albums.
We have
as
the
a
luxury
whole.
now. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
with that power, people will definitely take advantage of it. And you can't really blame them. I mean, we've all been victim of liking one song on an album, like, man, the rest of this album sucks. But I think when you keep that in mind and you go and do a full length LP, it's very important to make sure that every song flows together and creates an entire album.
Absolutely. You ever get a feeling about a song that, when you're looking at singles and they're surprised by, ones that fans gravitate towards that are something that you might not have expected?
I mean, there's certain songs where you just kind of have that feeling. You're like, I feel like this is a big one. This is something that everyone's going to like. But you never know. The fans know. I mean, at the end of the day, and people will say, the labels and the radio stations, and they do have a huge influence on that. But at the end of the day, it's the listeners. And if the listeners like a song off the album that may not be the one that everyone thought of, and they're downloading it like crazy on Spotify, or they're streaming it like nuts, that's going to be the next single. That's just what's going to happen, man.
So, are you surprised by the way the fan base has changed and grown over the years? Obviously there's a strong generational appeal to the music, and I know that, being out at your shows, you see fans of all ages, young and old, many that have grown up with the band, over time. How have you kind of watched that evolution?
Oh, well, I've been in the band for 5 years
Right.
now, and the fans, they get younger and younger, but at the same time, the fans that were previously there, they get older and older, and they start to have kids of their own.
Right.
And so that's how the fans get younger. And it's this weird cycle of just, when you love something so much, when you value something so much, and there's nothing more than people value their music, that's what helped them through in their life. They hold it close to their hearts, and they grow with the band, And as they grow older in life, they show that to their loved ones. Like, hey, this is something that has a huge impact on me in my life. You need to listen to this. Like my dad did with Led Zeppelin, or Stevie Wonder, or whatever. It was important to me, and let me show you. Maybe it's going to be important to you, kind of thing. And I think Sublime's music has touched that for decades now, and I don't think it's going to stop.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen so many changes in the industry over the years, with the biggest one being the uprise of social media. I mean, now you look out and you used to see a sea of lighters up in the air, and now it's a sea of cell phone screens.
Yeah.
What's that been like from your perspective?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, it's just different times. You know, I grew up in the last generation of lighters in the audience.
Yeah.
But I understand where we're at now. I mean, we evolve, you know, as a human race, and we progress, and, you know, come with new technology comes a new way of living and everything else. So, you know, now we live in such a state of immediacy now, and everything that you witness, you can record and upload to share to everybody. And I can understand that. I mean, you know, it's kind of like when you're doing something so fun, and the only thing you think of is like, God, I wish my best friend was here. Or like, God, if my brother was here right now, this would be twice as good.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, part of the mindset, I feel people are like that, like, dude, you got to see what I'm seeing right now. This is crazy. And the other half is like, look what I'm doing, you know? So, I mean, you're always going to get the good and the bad, but, you know, there's no sense of, you know, sitting around and complaining about, you know, social media and the internet and the MP3. I mean, deal with it, move on, you know, like, accept it, and this is the way the world is now. So
Absolutely. So what does the rest of the summer hold in store for you guys?
we're going on a huge tour July 16th, and then the next day on the 17th our album drops out.
I was gonna say that. What timing is that? That's
Yeah,
good.
it landed perfect. So we're excited. We'll be hitting everywhere. I think July 31st is when we'll be back in Philly. So
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. We can't wait for your show tonight. We're
Thanks
so
for having
happy
me.
you guys are at Firefly. Thank you.
appreciate it.